And welcome to the blending options tutorial for the layers panels. This is a tutorial that will show you a few of the tricks you can do with any type of layer that you have. Let's say you want to give him a background shadow, or you want to give him a gradient or something like that. Blending options are going to be your best thing to use. Those are located over here in the layers panel. You can either right click on the layer, or you can click on this little menu box, go up to blending options, and this little dialog box shows up. Over here on the left you have a lot of options. You can bevel and emboss, and that will basically just put a line around everything, just kind of make it look like it's been embossed into it, and you can contour it and texture it. Then you have a stroke, which you can fill with any kind of color, and that'll put a line around everything as well. Inner shadow will kind of put a shadow on the inside of the image, and inner glow does the opposite. It puts kind of a light color on the inside. And then you can do a satin sheen if you like. You can choose an angle. It makes it look a little plasticky. You can also do a color overlay, where if you want this whole thing to be red, you just choose that one. And right now I don't have any layers in particular selected to for this to be affected, and so nothing is really showing up. But you got a gradient and a pattern and an outer glow and a drop shadow. And these are the basic things that you can use. They work best with typography, but if you happen to want to do something with an image, then you can use these options. So what we are going to do is hit cancel, and we're going to start off with our background image. I went ahead and I made a copy of this figure right here, and he is in the foreground. And then I duplicated that layer, and the way you can do that is you can say, you can right click on it, or you can go here and you can say duplicate layer, and what that will do is it'll copy that layer and then put it on top. And so I arranged it, so here's my second layer. And next what we want to do is we want to start adding some blending options to this guy. So what we do is we make sure he's selected, and then you go into your blending options, and we want to give him a drop shadow. So we'll do the drop shadow option. You can choose a color over here. You can say, well, let's give him this kind of color because we want him to look kind of like the rug, and we'll say okay. And then you can even choose like the angle at which the light is hitting it, so the shadow will show up. And then you can also, let me turn these on. This is where we're headed. And so there you can see the drop shadow. The next thing we wanted to do was a pattern overlay, so it does look like carpet. So if you click on this menu, over here there's side menus according to whichever one of these you click on, and this is where you can adjust patterns and things of that nature. So let's say we want a bubble pattern for some reason. You can even load in your own patterns. Let's stick with the rug, and I already changed the scale to about 258, so it would kind of match down here. And so let's also give it a color overlay. So here's the color overlay, and with color you can go in and choose the color and then say how much you want, and once that's done we can say okay. And then next what I did was I wanted him to go behind this, so I made another layer which is just that base, which you can see over here, and I put that in the foreground, and here's the completed image. And that is the blending options tutorial. Thank you.